These two teams are in serious trouble. The Giants and the Dolphins. The Giants lost Malik Nabers to an ACL injury. The Dolphins lost Tyreek Hill to an ACL injury. The question we must ask ourselves as this past week, both these injuries occurred, which team is in bigger trouble? I think that the Giants are in the biggest trouble because the Dolphins still have Jalen Waddle. And Darren Waller.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
Huh?
Come on.
Where did this dude come from? Oh, Giants could use him because Theo Johnson can't do anything. Not having Malik Nabers is a serious issue for the Giants. Jaxson Dart showed some really nice things as a leader, as a tough, gritty signal caller, game manager. The problem is for him to throw for 111 yards against the Chargers and for him to grow off of that and then open up the offense, I don't know who he's going to throw to. Wan'Dale Robinson had a really good game against the Cowboys, but he hasn't done much since. And Darius Slayton's not exactly your typical dangerous primary option that you can turn to. I have a lot of worry that there is going to be a ceiling that this Giants offense will hit because they don't have someone to turn to. The minute that Nabers went out of the game, it clearly hurt the Giants. And there was a real path here for relationship to be built between the two of them, and then momentum to be carried into the end of the season, into next year. All of that was going to flourish over the course of the rest of the season. Now we have to figure out, are we going to run zone read every single play in order to move the ball 4 yards, and Jaxson Dart's going to get blasted 20 times a game because he has to keep the rock as much as he's going to need to in order to actually move the ball down the field. They don't have anything on this roster. They need to make a move. They're in the most trouble.
Here's why I will agree with you that the Giants are in the most trouble. I mean, Malik Nabers was on like all-pro pace, like genuinely superstar wide receiver talent on the outside. And it seemed like they were targeting him. I like that. I like what they were doing. He goes down season long. That's awful for a team that was trending up, a bad team trending up through the first 4 weeks. Losing that guy is so costly to the team. The Dolphins, on the other hand, yeah, technically they lost their wide receiver one, but the conversation wasn't even about how does Miami get back. That's how I know they're already cooked. It was about, hey, is this it for Tyreek Hill? What are your favorite Tyreek Hill memories for his career? Nothing about the team. Damn. There wasn't one thing about how can Miami, get back after this big win against this gritty win against the shit ass doo-doo butt Jets. Holy hell, embarrass yourself on Monday Night Football more. You let the Miami Dolphins wear those atrocities and beat you? Embarrassing. But nobody cares about the Dolphins. Nobody cares that Jalen Waddle's stepping in. It doesn't matter because they're so done for in the AFC East. It's not even a competition. The Giants, though, had hope. That's why you take Malik Nabers off that team. They go back down to, at best, mediocre offense. At best. And that's just being nice or just being reasonable about the situation. Cam Scadaboo runs hard, fine, but is he going to change a game or break it open? Probably not. He found his moments because you could throw it downfield and then you give it to the 6-foot-tall bulldog and let him go for 4 yards.
He's smaller than that. He's like 5'9" and change.
I don't know the technique.
He's more of like a French bulldog.
I don't know the scale option for the anthropomorphic bulldog to human ratio, but I believe it would be somewhat of Cam Scadaboo's size.
Yeah.
But he's not a guy that's saying, all right, Cam, we're going to hand it off to you 30 times today. I can't wait to see your buck 20 and 1 and maybe your 2 catches out of the backfield. No, it's going to be a gritty 55. That's what he's going to give you. And then you're hoping on the outside, you can have Malik Nabers go for 100, that he's a major component in moving the ball down the field. Now, the Giants have to outcoach other teams. They have to get more creative than other teams, which I don't think that they're really great at.
Offensively, especially, I think defensively, we're starting to see how they can replicate the Chargers game. They can replicate the Chargers game where they just smother the shit out of opposing quarterbacks, and Abdul Carter has 6 pressures, and Kayvon Thibodeau has a sack, and Brian Burns has 2. That is replicable because they're already showing how they can unleash those guys with stunts. I loved the whole bit where they sent against the Cowboys Abdul Carter from the middle linebacker position, and he just smoked the Cowboys center.
Oh yeah.
That stuff
good
is
stuff.
so daunting, and I think that is replicable to drag down their opponents to 15 points, 18 points, whatever it is. The problem is can you score 18 points? Are you going to be able to do that every single game?
That's a crazy statement. That's a tough question.
I really think that there's a world where they can start to get better and better throwing the ball, and Dart can show more things as the offense starts to slowly open up. I just don't think there's much explosiveness to the point where it actually like legitimately threatens anything. So that's where my fear comes into play. I really think if they want their season to survive, they absolutely have to go after Jakobi Meyers. Jakobi Meyers already requested a trade. He wants to leave Vegas. They haven't done anything about it. And I really believe that his skill set would work nicely this year. He's 28 years old. You sign him. I think his contract's up at the end of this year. You sign him to a 3-year deal. And then you've got Jakobi Meyers. You've got Malik Nabers coming back from injury. You got Wan'Dale in the slot. And then maybe you use your second-round pick in 2026 to draft Zachariah Branch or a Mekhi Lemon or one of these speedsters, and you've got like this nice, well-rounded receiving room. The Jakobi Meyers trade has to be something that happens. You can't. I think Samori Toure was the guy that they worked out this week.
I like Samori.
Yeah,
but
that's not.
You guys want Mooney? We'll give you Darnell Mooney.
Oh, now you're trying to get rid of Mooney.
We'll give you Mooney. You just send us
What
back.
about Drake London?
I don't know if you guys don't have Drake London money. We'll give you Mooney. You send us
money.
Burns and Dexter.
No. And Dexter.
Yeah. Give us both of them.
See, well, as great as Kayvon Thibodeau has been, I actually kind of am not against the thought of using Kayvon.
Well, Thibodeau, he's also
as a trade chip for a team that needs a pass rusher.
Kayvon's great, but I think that these are a lot of opportunity sacks instead of bag work sacks.
Yeah, they don't need to know that. The rest of these teams don't.
They got 4 guys rushing.
Yeah.
Kayvon's not doing a ton here.
I'm gonna need you to stop talking.
Hey,
I'm gonna need you to stop talking. Can you stop, Eric? Can you stop giving that information out?
Sorry, man. I'm you know what? You didn't want to deal with me.
I'll end this show.
You want to deal me and take Mooney off? We'll give you Mooney and Kirk for.
We don't need Kirk.
Yeah, everyone could use a Kirk. Take Mooney and Kirk. We'll take Nabers and Dexter, and then it'll just be a nice win-win for both teams.